through the magic of Apple.
How do you?
I'm changing into
Oh, nice. That's sharp. I never got any.
Oh, you went to the swamp.
I never got any swag on the hockey team. Jeez. I've been the boys for 3 years. I never got anything that cool. What? Ah, sometimes it'll do that, and you just gotta go with it.
Well, good evening, hockey fans. The final game before the holiday break for Grand Rapids Catholic Central is an in-rink showdown against Byron Center. This is Cougar Puck Radio. I'm Matt Gajtka on the play-by-play tonight. Reagan Cleaves is on the camera as he was last Saturday, as the Cougars are coming off an impressive 5-1 win over East Grand Rapids on the road just a couple of days ago at the Patterson Ice Arena. It was Teddy Bear toss afternoon, and really the festivities continued throughout the game for Catholic Central, which broke a 2-game losing streak and improved to 5-3, 4-1 in the OK Rue division. That one a cross-divisional matchup, but getting back to Western Michigan competition did the Cougars, and with aplomb. Grant Kuykendall scored another goal, added another assist. He's been shut out in just one of the Cougars' 8 games so far. And Gabe Sova scored twice, including one on the power play, as the Cougars' power play in general continues to click along. That's now 10 goals in their last 3 games after a 4-for-5 performance. That's right, 4-for-5 against the Pioneers. And, now Catholic Central comes into tonight, a big-time showdown, as I mentioned, against Byron Center, a team that also calls this rink home, although the other side of it. Byron Center enters the evening with a record of 7-3, 4-0 in the Rue division, as they're tied for first in the standings right now. And for their head coach, Taylor Keyworth, it's repeating a lot of the theme of last year, where the team went undefeated in a shortened regular season and went all the way to the state championship game before losing to Brother Rice on a goal with 6 seconds to play. So the Bulldogs were that close to a state title, but instead they had to settle for a 1-loss season. A lot of good stuff there for the Bulldogs last year. They lose their top 4 regular season scorers, Logan and Luke Nicholas, Trevor Davis, and Mason Breet. They combined for 52 goals and 86 assists. Logan on his own had 21 goals and 23 assists. But they do return their number 1 goaltender, Carson McKenzie, the junior. 10-0 record last year, .880 save percentage, and 1 shutout, as Byron Center went 14-0. This year, off to a 4-1-0 start on home ice, and the only time that the Bulldogs have lost here at the Southside Ice Arena was in overtime to Forest Hills Northern and Eastern right around Thanksgiving. So it's been a while since they dropped one here at home, quote-unquote, although they're playing on the Catholic Central side of the ice. So hard to tell exactly where home ice advantage starts and ends in a game like this one, but, at least for the Cougars, they get to play with their logo at center ice. Also in the game against East Grand Rapids the other night, Catholic Central came back from a 1-0 deficit, scoring 3 goals in the first period, then tacking on a couple more. Andrew Wormuth got on the board with his 3rd of the season. I mentioned that Gabe Sova scored twice. His brother Nate assisted on one particular beauty early in the 3rd period to put it away. Yes, Grant Kuykendall continued his binge, as he is now in the top 30 in goal scoring in all of Michigan, regardless of classes or divisions. Kuykendall at 11 on the year. That's actually tied for 25th in the state, and just 2nd in the OK conferences, behind Grand Haven's Tristan Goss, who has 14. So when it comes to West Michigan goal scorers, you can't get much better than Grant Kuykendall. Both teams coming into tonight boasting potent offenses, 4+ goals per game for each team. Only Mona Shores, who is averaging 5.8, and Granville at 5.3, are above Catholic Central's 4.6. Byron Center, by the way, is scoring 4.3. So 2 of the 4 most potent teams in West Michigan are getting together on the ice tonight. And the Sover brothers, they were held off the board in that Gaylord D3 showcase a couple of weekends ago, but they definitely punched back at East Grand Rapids, combining for 3 points. The 2 returning point getters last year for the Cougars are back on track after a little hiccup there, but in OK conference, they've been unparalleled in a lot of ways. Down to the final 30 seconds of warm-ups, and once they conclude, we'll be set for the drop of the puck and what should be one of the most competitive matchups of the season. I know I said it last time out as well against East Grand Rapids, but it's true. And that one was more competitive than the final score would indicate, for sure, even though it ended up being what looked like a blowout if you just checked out the box score. But that's why you got to watch the games in order to figure out exactly how it went and which team performed and which team didn't. In that case, it was Catholic Central being more consistent throughout. So a nice bounce back. Now at 5-3, taking on the 7-3 Byron Center Bulldogs, the defending regional champions, the state finalists from last year. And over the last 2 regular seasons, they've just dropped 3 games. So, in fact, you add it all up together, and it's a record of 21-3-0 in the past 2 regular seasons for the Bulldogs. So we welcome you inside the arena here on Cougar Puck Radio. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking as well. We'll endeavor to get as many games on the air as we can this season. Your starting goaltender, as you imagine, for Byron Center is Carson McKenzie, the junior. This year, a record of 5-3, .885 save percentage, 2.62 goals against average. And for Catholic Central, we will once again see Trent Goheen, the sophomore, 4-3 after his win against EGR on Saturday afternoon. .908 save percentage. He's poked it above 90% of shots faced that he stopped, and his goals against average right around 1. So it's been pretty airtight with Goheen in net outside of that matchup against Rockford, really the 6-5 overtime win. Besides that, Catholic Central has been pretty comprehensive in their victories. We'll have 4 officials on the ice tonight, 2 refs, 2 lines people. 17 minutes loaded on the clock as we get ready to bring you the starting lineups. Byron Center has won 6 of its past 7 since a 1-2 start, but 2 of its 3 losses came in overtime. And there are 4 common opponents between these 2 teams. Both teams beat East Grand Rapids. Both teams beat Rockford by 1. We'll take a moment for a prayer.
Thank you for the ability to participate today, whether as a player, coach, official, or spectator. Keep us mindful that our abilities are gifts from you. Open the minds of these athletes to play with pride in themselves, their family, and their school, and perform with the highest respect for their worthy opponents. As always, we do this in your name. Amen. Now let's meet the starters for both schools. First, the guest on the scoreboard tonight, the Byron Center Bulldogs. Starting on defense, number 4, Byron.
As I was saying there just a moment ago, both teams have played Granville, but Byron Center beat Granville 7-1. That's the one result that really stands out as being inconsistent when you compare the 2 team season schedules so far, because Catholic Central fell 6-4, a competitive game, but they fell to Granville, and they had a hard time keeping the Bulldogs down there. So put a star by that result if you're Byron Center. Both teams blew out Kenowa Hills by several goals, and both teams beat West Ottawa in relatively close games, although it took overtime for Byron Center. Last year, Byron Center won both matchups in the COVID-shortened season. 5-4 was the first result, and 7-3 was the second. Wormuth, Ian Schweigert, Shane Kwiatkowski all scored in that 5-4 loss. Brady Breet, who returns as a junior and has 9 goals so far for Byron Center, he scored in that one for the Bulldogs. Shane Kwiatkowski had a hat trick for Catholic Central in that 7-3 loss, but it wasn't enough as Carson McKenzie picked up his second W against Catholic Central on the season. Time to pause for the national anthem from the Southside Ice Arena. Back with a drop of the puck in just a moment on Cougar Puck Radio. Well, with the pomp and circumstance in the rear view, it's time to play some hockey from the Southside Ice Arena, technically in Byron Center. And I said also home of the Byron Center Bulldogs in addition to the Grand Rapids Catholic Central Cougars. Grand Rapids Catholic Central, coached by Mike Slobodnik in his 11th season, assisted by Joel Kwiatkowski, Mike Moss, and Josh Stella. Cougars trying to push back after dropping a couple to the Bulldogs last season. Right here on this ice surface, both in the regular season. Both teams regional champions last year, and both teams with a proud record of success in the past several seasons. Grand Rapids Catholic Central is in the white jerseys with the blue helmets, blue pants, gold trim, gold numerals, gold names. Byron Center in the black and the orange and the white. The puck is dropped, and we're playing hockey at the Southside Ice Arena. Scramble for it at the red line and poked over to this near wing where it's Gage Pietenpole trying to lift it back. Instead it'll go D to D over to the far side. Scooped up by Connor Brait, senior captain of the Bulldogs. Gunned it in behind the Cougars' net. That's where it's flicked away by Trent Goheen. Side of the goal, and a bank try there by Brady Breet. That hit a stick and deflected out of play. Catholic Central went 5-6 last year in the regular year and caught fire in the playoffs. Ryder Mulvey to take this face-off. He scored a goal and added an assist against EGR on Saturday. Kuykendall, the 11-goal man, charging after this one. Trying to get there first, but he can't. Josh Philo broke it up in the corner, but he couldn't get it past Nate Sova behind the net. Both teams looking for their first shot on goal. Again, healthy student sections for both teams. Gotta love it. Fans are coming out to support their squads. Pietenpole gains the line. Whiffed on the shot as he was anticipating a hit from Shane Kwiatkowski, who had a hat trick against Byron Center last time these two teams played. Lead pass looking for Sova and perhaps for a breakaway, but it was about a foot ahead of his reach. Icing against the Cougars with 16:05 to go in period number one. This is Matt Gajtka on the play-by-play, and happy to be joined by the originator of Cougar Puck Radio, Reagan Cleaves. He's running the camera this evening again. Drew Schweigert to take this draw. Pardon me, that's Andrew Wormuth. Back to the line. Laska wristed one high and wide of the net. Jackson Freusland tapped it down the wall. Byron Center has had some flu go through their team. I was talking to one of their team managers. Meanwhile, right out in front of the net, a chance, and Goheen smothers the opportunity from Cade Pratt, and no further play. As I was going to say, Byron Center shorthanded by 3 skaters. Typically they have 18 at their disposal, just 15 on the bench tonight for the Bulldogs, who have put up the Byron Center hockey banner behind their bench, making them feel like home on the wrong side of the rink for them. Off the draw, right to the net, and a backhand chance for Kaminga. Goes floating wide. One of those nifty little plays. Now Pratt bangs it in behind the net. He's going to have to go chasing over to this near side as he reverses flow. Pratt curling out of the corner and out of the high slot. Poked off his stick, and the Cougars can try to break it out. Gabe Sova chasing. Coming off a 2-goal outing against the Pioneers of EGR. Kaminga couldn't lasso this one in. So it'll be taken on this near side by Ian Schweigert. Ian is the Schweigert who plays D. Drew's the Schweigert who plays center. To the point. Laska is shooting. That was redirected wide. No harm there. Henry Kwiatkowski. Both Kwiatkowskis play D, so no cheat there. Same with the Sovas. They're both up front. Soba's Nate and Gabe come as advertised this season. They've helped power this attack, along with, of course, the finishing touch of Kuykendall. Rolling puck back into the Byron Center end. Here comes Westrick on it first for GRCC in the corner. The forecheck is on, and Schweigert comes out of there with it. Drew Schweigert lines one up and wrists it off a body in front, maybe a stick, and it hops over to this near side wall. No score, 2.5 minutes into this one. No penalties yet in this game. Drop pass and a shot. That goes over the net from Outwater. Braylon Outwater on it, checked hard there, close to being from behind, but play continues on. That was Braden Sandheim who did it for Byron Center. Outwater tenacious on the puck, but his centering pass was intercepted by Lauren Brem, and he backhands it to the safety of the neutral zone. Henry Kwiatkowski does a button hook and lifts this one into the left wing corner. McKenzie still waiting to make his first save of the evening. It's tapped past the pinching Cougar defenseman, and on comes Brady Breet. Breet, 9 goals, 3 assists on the year. In front of the net is Bryce Promoda setting up shot, but he couldn't get the pass from behind the net. Big tangle. It's 5 men in there, and it squirts loose over to Sova. Nate Sova, that is. He put it right back behind his net. Trouble here for the Cougars, but Henry Kwiatkowski finds his outlet. But still, they can't get it past the blue line. Here's Kuykendall taking care of business finally. Nudged it by Luke Laska, the freshman. Shane Kwiatkowski with a nice bump on Connor Brait, sending him down to a knee inside the Bulldogs line. Preston Berta stretches out to take this puck. He finds Kuykendall, who redirects it off a partition. Good bounce for the Bulldogs. That sets up Luke Laska. Diagonal pass up ahead, bounces over a couple of sticks. Now it's handled by Ian Schweigert. Decides to rim it around. Laska at the point, couldn't handle it cleanly. Comes out over the blue line, but unable to be taken on the move by Gabe Sova and shot right back in. A lot of free-flowing action here. Nearly a chance to come to the net for Luke Padding of Byron Center, but that didn't work. And this will go for an icing against the Cougars. Pardon, that was Jackson Freusland, I should say. Keep an eye out for Padding, though, as he has 8 points in 10 games, leading all Byron Center D. Top point getter so far from the blue line for the Cougars is Shane Kwiatkowski with 4 assists. Still no goals from the blue line crew. Well, hey, Shane seemed to find the range quite easily against Byron Center last time out, so maybe this is the night that we get that first defenseman goal in game number 9 for Grand Rapids Catholic Central. But here's Freusland settling things down. As we continue to play at 5-on-5, turn this way and that. Finds some room, protecting the puck. Jackson Freusland, the sophomore. Try to get the cycle game going, but that was picked off, read well by Gabe Sova. Gabe, the senior, taps it on over to Nolan Nemesek. Junior gets a hit in below the goal line, but the puck went the other way, right back into CC territory. Nemesek got a piece of that, I think. No, he did not over the red line. So it's a third icing against the Cougars in the opening 5 minutes or so of game action tonight. Trent Goheen for Catholic Central has started all but one game so far this season. Max Moore saw action against Grand Rapids Christian and came out of there with the shutout, the clean sheet, 5-0 win about a month ago. But Goheen has done wonderful work as well. No complaining about the goaltending so far, certainly for Mike Slobodnik's Cougars. Laska getting a lot of playing time here for a 9th grader. He tosses this one ahead. Comes to a halt behind the Cougars' goal in the corner. Reaching for it, Dalton Clark. But again, Catholic Central doing a nice job defending in its own end. Hasn't really allowed that much from the home plate area. Trying to change all that, though, is Braden Sandholm. Intercepted and cleared out once more. Shane Kwiatkowski. Drew Schweigert overtaken. Had his stick lifted as he tried to make a play. Shane Kwiatkowski over to brother Henry. Or pardon, that's Henry Holloman. Got the first name right. That's offside against Byron Center. And that'll stop play with 11:17 remaining in the first period. Coming up next week, we'll have back-to-back games, Tuesday and Wednesday. Granville comes in to the Southside Ice Arena Tuesday at 2 p.m. And then the following day, Mona Shores, the Sailors, who I mentioned are averaging nearly 6 goals per game. They'll be here, another 2 o'clock outing. We're going to try to get that first game on the air. We'll see if we can do it. But certainly we'll have the Mona Shores matchup for you. Some scheduling conflicts have come into play here around the holiday season, as they often do. Ian Schweigert right on goal. I think that's the first save that McKenzie's had to make, as the Cougars have spent a lot of time defending here in this first period. Bryce Promoda swirling around to the outside. 6 minutes and 10 seconds gone in this first period. Poked ahead. Now here's a transition chance for the Cougars. Kuykendall slows things down. He's got Schweigert going to the net. Got it to him, backhand. And I don't know if he even got it on net. Maybe McKenzie kicked it out, but the pass was slightly flubbed. Now Breet stretching out, diving on the ice to prevent the icing call. He wanted to get in there on the breakaway. Now he picks it off, centers it right out in front. Freusland, but it's in his skates. Brady Breet again. The junior tossed it right to the slot. And trying to pick that one up, Cade Pratt, but unable to do so. Again, the Cougars clear. So just for a brief moment, things opened up. And now we're right back to zone action. Freusland dispossessed. That is just barely out over the blue line. I'm not on the blue line, so I can't make that call. The linesman did. with 10:03 remaining in the first period. Still no score. Catholic Central and Byron Center. This place is packed. We've got folks even lined up on the concourse back here with us. It's not a lot of shots, but fluid play up and down the ice so far. And Ian Schweigert came that close to getting that first defenseman goal on the season, but his backhand just fluttered wide. It's a 3-on-1 as it turned out for Catholic Central. Our view is obstructed by the Byron Center student section down to our left. Comes off for Nemesek, but he couldn't pull it to the forehand. Now Wormuth, who scored against EGR, tried to center one that was picked off. And dumped down into safety by the Bulldogs once more. Shane Kwiatkowski, good little backhand pass to the curling Andrew Wormuth. The senior made a man miss and fed it along further to Liam Watt to drive into the offensive zone. Josh Philo got it off the wall, but there's Shane Kwiatkowski again, playing a heck of a first period so far. Comes loose and shoots, and McKenzie saw that one the whole way. Easy save, head high with the glove hand. 9:06 to play in the first. Byron Center coached by Taylor Keyworth, assisted by Jordan Steger and Mason Stewart. Last time out for Byron Center, a 4-1 win against the Bay Reps Saturday as well. Cade Pratt scored a goal and had an assist. It's the fourth straight win for the Bulldogs, and Carson McKenzie stopped 23. So another pretty solid win for Byron Center. Like to see both teams come in with some momentum, and they do have that. Lauren Brem couldn't take that puck. It bounced over his stick. Byron Center in the black with the orange and the white. Of course, Catholic Central in the home whites. Wrist shot from the point. That's gobbled up by McKenzie on the drive from Holloman. Holloman still looking for his first point of the year. He's played all 8 games to date. Just the one loss in OK conference play for Grand Rapids Catholic Central so far, as Berta will deflect this over to the near side half wall. That was to Granville on opening night. Otherwise, they've been great against their regional opponents. Breet with some room. The right-handed shooter got it off, and a good save by Goheen to kick it over to Sova. Nate Sova will backhand it over the head of a Bulldog and right onto Kuykendall's stick. Kuykendall almost dragged it past Luke Padding, but now he has it again, and his pass went to the front of the net, but unable to turn and find it, Ryder Mulvey. Mulvey distributes to the point. There's Berta shooting, redirected by Nate Sova and just wide of the left post. Great chance for the Cougars to strike first. Holloman on the chip and chase play. Digs in behind the goal. Cougars changing behind the play in the first period, so each team's bench is in its defensive zone. Padding knocked it along to Pratt. Drop pass for the overlapping Henges, but his shot missed everything off the end boards. Pratt gave it away in the middle. Can the Cougars make something of this? They have a 3-man rush. Gabe Sova digging to the outside now, right in! He scored! Gabe Sova with a last-second deke to the backhand, and he trickled it by McKenzie for a 1-0 Catholic Central lead. Stay hot, Gabe Sova. That's now 3 goals in 2 games. And, of course, we're just in the first period of this one, his 5th of the season. The senior connecting on the partial breakaway. Even strength goal. Sova just swooped right in there amidst the chaos and found himself one-on-one with McKenzie, who got a piece of it with his left pad, but not all of it, not enough of it. It went about a foot over the goal line. We had to wait for a second to get the official to point at it. It looked like it was in, but hard to really confirm it from this angle up here on top. Schweigert gets the assist, Ian Schweigert. So make that 4 assists on the year for the Cougars, number 17. Icing against Byron Center now. So there you have it. Again, Catholic Central scores first. That game against EGR was rare. In every other game this season against OK conference foes, Catholic Central was scored first, outside of the one against the Pioneers Saturday. It's part of the reason why they have that 5-1 record when playing close to home, or at home in the case tonight. Preston Berta hammers it high off the glass. McKenzie stops it there. On the handoff for Luke Laska, runs into some trouble and gave it away briefly to Braylon Outwater. Chipped it ahead once and twice, but couldn't make anything happen. So now the Cougars have to go find it in their own end. Henry Kwiatkowski redirected definitely ahead by Outwater. Outwater, who has 3 goals, scored in the opener, and it's pretty much kept it going all season long. 5 points in his 8 games. Good numbers for an energy-type player, as he's showing right now, banging bodies with Luke Padding behind the net. Laska up the wall. The Bulldogs don't like it over there. They'll try it this way. Picked up by Brem, and there's a solid breakout. Braden Sandholm, but he turned it over to Preston Berta under 6 to play in the first period. A 1-0 Catholic Central lead. Padding shot it off the body of one of the Cougars. It was Schweigert, Drew Schweigert. Comes free to Berta again, but his pass eludes Schweigert at center. Padding on the dump in. Bulldogs completing a change, least of their defense pairing. Kicked along by Connor Brate. 9 assists to lead this team and 13 points tops on the squad. Both these teams can score. I doubt we've seen the last goal of this game, put it that way. Sometimes that can neutralize, though, when both teams are a little wary of the other. This will be an icing call against Catholic Central, bringing the faceoff back down to our right. 5:10 to play in the first period. Off the draw and rung around the wood and out by the Cougars. Kuykendall poked it back. Mulvey overskated. Brate on it for the Bulldogs again. Now Brate all the way in deep. Not a lot of rush opportunities for Byron Center so far. As you can say that about the defending of the Cougars for sure. Down around to the outside. Kwiatkowski lost the puck in his skates for a moment, but he gets it right back. Remember, he scored the hat trick against Byron Center last time these two teams met. Holloman on the forehand. Dumped it around. It comes crazily out in front of the net and rolling puck. We've had the warm-ups. We've had about 13 minutes of gameplay, so the ice is getting scratchy. A little chippy right now. You're going to have to be sure of yourself. Freuslin wristing. Save Goheen. Rebound. Freuslin got another chance away, but that was also stopped, I think, by Goheen. Maybe it hit the apron on the outside of the net. Wormuth had the puck drift away from him, and he exposed himself for a big hit, and he got crunched there by Pietenpaul. Here's Padding leading the rush for Byron Center, and elects to simply flip in. Holloman on his backhand. Couldn't get a lot on it, but helping out Gabe Sova. Sova's got his brother Nate on the right side. Gabe shoots, save made by McKenzie. Big rebound. Wormuth has it, turns, shoots, and again McKenzie has it again. All right, Carson McKenzie's in this game now. He's faced a couple of grade A chances. Faced the drive from Gabe Sova. That was probably the best opportunity in the sequence. Gabe trying to pick the bottom right corner, but unable to do so. Looking for his second goal of the period, and his 4th in 2 games. Things are clicking for him now, and on cue he makes the pass up to Wormuth. Shoots ahead and goes off for a change. Braylon Outwater's on it, number 16 for Catholic Central in the white. Pardon me, that's Nemecek turning this and that. On his forehand. Dumped it behind the goal. Zach Westrick couldn't get there in time. Nemecek fell down trying to stop on a dime. Puck bogs down on the half-wing wall, and now it's taken by Bird out at center ice. Gives it right back to the Bulldogs and Laska. Laska passed it through Brem, and that's icing. Brem did not get a touch on it. Face-off will come down to our left. 2:53 remaining before the intermission. Westrick takes this draw for Catholic Central. Hops loose to Shane Kwiatkowski. Backpedals and sends it high off the glass. Liam Watt to take this puck. Big right-handed shooter. Watt coming off the wall, but it drifts off his blade. Breaking back, Bryce Promoda. Halted in the corner as he ran into Watt with 2.5 to play in the first period. Blind centering pass, and it's intercepted there by the Cougars. Just taking a swing at it there was Westrick. Shortened up on the stick, but couldn't make anything happen. Back to the Catholic Central line. Henry Kwiatkowski under Watt's stick. It was deflected apparently, so no icing this time. McKenzie skillfully leaves it there with one hand on his stick for Gage Pietenpol, the defenseman. Pietenpol, strong skating for the junior. He's got a shorthanded goal this year, and he's offside. Well, the Bulldogs are offside on his rush. They were a little bit ahead of the play. Neutral zone face-off. And after that battle, Freusland hops on for the Bulldogs. Under 2 to go in the first. 1-0 Catholic Central. Gabe Sova scores even strength. Partial breakaway. Backhand D. Goheen kicks out this shot from Luke Laska, who appears to be very mobile from the blue line. Cutting out in front, Freusland, stopped by Goheen. His best save of the night easily. Trying to get it right back to the front of the net was padding, but it was broken up by the Cougars. Goheen pushed across. Freusland wanted to stuff it far post. No sale. Mulvey gave it away, though. Here's Freusland again, but he stubbed the shot. Ends up behind the net with 1:20 remaining in the period. Pressure on for Byron Center. A wrister from the line. That never got through. And a whistle and a stoppage in play. Don't believe there's a penalty coming. No, there's not. But the faceoff will come outside the blue line. I wonder if that was contact with the goaltender or something to that effect. Didn't think the net was knocked off either. So we'll play on with 1:10 remaining. The lead pass for Byron Center skips under the stick of Brady Breet. Cougars on the dump in. This is McKenzie once more, active behind the net. Puck's flushed up the wall by Josh Philo of Byron Center. Might have heard the announcement, under a minute to play in the first period. Breet couldn't find it, but Pietenpol will, and he has some room. Drop pass, Breet shooting, Goheen elects to grab it with the glove, and it was a good idea. Remember, he's a right-handed catcher. Probably see about 10% of goalies, maybe less than that, catch with the right hand. That can trip up a shooter for sure, especially if he's a lefty used to picking on that blocker hand. Well, not so much against Trent Goheen. 41.8 shows on the scoreboard hung down to our right. Players go down on a heap. Well, at least one did. That was Wormuth. Ended up on his backside for Catholic Central, but no harm, no foul as the play moves back into the Byron Center end. Half minute to play in the first.